you know, I felt like God was pulling me to quit my job. And I've seen a lot of people on YouTube post about this. And I just want to take you guys through like this journey of how all of this played out with me, with all of this. I mean, whew. I expected to quit my job, and I don't really know what I expected. I don't know if I expected to get offered like, you know, more money, or if I really didn't expect that. But I don't know if like a part of me wished that would have happened, or if, you know, I expected to get a new job, or if I just expected to go on this like super self-love journey because I gained 30 pounds in the past 3 years on my own because of all of the stress, the depression, and the overwhelming feeling of just being sleep deprived and not being happy with where I was in life. There's another video on my channel that says that God blessed me with the perfect job. And I want to make sure that you guys understand that the job that I'm speaking about today is that job. The one that I quit was the job that I was referring to. God, in my opinion, still blessed me with that job. That job really carried me through seasons where no other job would work. The flexibility of that job was like no other. It allowed me to be a mother. It allowed me to be able to go to all of these appointments and run all these errands and all these things that I wouldn't have been able to do with a 9-to-5 traditional in-office job, or even a work from home job where it was a steady schedule every day. My kids were not in school when I first got the job, and then the whole daycare thing was iffy. So there was a lot of time that I was able to dedicate to being a mother, as well as work a full-time job and make money from home. And there was no phones involved. I mean, it was the perfect job. And I want to be clear about that. You know, there was a season where that job really, really, really did work for me. But the reason that it just became so overwhelming was because my life got a little chaotic with my personal things that I talked about in my other video with my kids, and, you know, just trying to work a full-time job, which again, it was flexible, but I still had to make up hours whenever I wasn't, you know, at home to do the hours. I would have to make those hours up on the weekends. You know, I just wouldn't have a day off. And there was maybe a year or more of just like working with really no days off. I mean, I could probably count on one hand how many days I was able to take off. And even the days I took off, I can't really count those as days as taken off because, again, I had to make up those hours. So there would be days where I had to work over 12 hours just to make up 40 hours for that week so that I can get a full check, and because I committed to working 40 hours every week and we did not have PTO. So I ended up having to quit that job. And guys, I was not expecting a season of being in the wilderness. I quit my job back in November. It is now January, and I've had another project, but I didn't really work it that much. So basically, I feel like I've been unemployed throughout this time. It has been great because I've been able to get my mind back together and stuff like that. But the stress of like feeling like you don't have the money that you would like to have to eat and spend, you know, of course, thank God we had all the money we needed to pay bills, and even more, like just a little bit more, but not what I'm used to after having a steady job throughout all these years. So that was really it was a lot, and it still is. And, you know, because I felt like God was the one that kind of urged me to quit my job, I can't lie, I felt confused at first, and then I felt hurt, where I just started to cry. And I was like, God, like, why did you have me quit my job during this holiday season? You know, like, this is the season where everyone's buying presents and going out places. And, you know, we're balling on a budget right now. And although my kids got more than enough, it just wasn't what I would have wanted. You know what I mean? I guess that's just like the U.S. surplus. Like, we just want to do more, you know what I mean, in the United States, more than what needs to be done. We are very spoiled in this country, I can admit that. But just being a mom, I just wanted to go more places. Like, the Christmas holiday is my favorite. I don't care about any other holiday. I care about Christmas. So I wanted to do all of these things, and we didn't get to do really anything. We got to do one thing. But other than that, like, I didn't really get to decorate the tree the way that I wanted to. Just a lot of things that I really, really wanted. So it kind of like put a damper on the mood of Christmas for me, unfortunately. And I just got sad, and I remember just crying and being like, God, you know, why are we here? Like, why couldn't we maybe quit this job after the holiday season? But in that moment when I felt like God was pulling me to quit my job, I felt it so strongly, and it was almost like I couldn't take another day, which I did. I actually took, I worked for them like another 2 or 3 weeks. They asked me to, and I did it. So I ultimately stopped working for that project at the end of November was my last day, but I actually quit at the beginning of November. So it was maybe 2, almost 3 weeks that I put in like a whole notice so that they could find somebody else. But yeah, I got really confused, and I remember talking to my husband about it, and I was just like, do you think God really told me to quit my job? Like, do you think this was just me? Like, I just had all these questions, and then it got to like confusion and sadness, where I would literally be home by myself, and I would literally just feel like screaming because I felt so lost. And then I would have that faith again, and then my faith would go down, and then it would go back up. And then it just got to the point where I actually got angry. And that feels really like, I feel really guilty for saying that. But honestly, I got angry. I was like, why? Why did you make me feel like, you know, that this was not the right job for me right now, just to leave me out here so confused and sad and hurt and in pain? And, you know, I can't really go on this healing journey like I want to and discover all these things about myself because I can't get my mind to focus on me. I'm too busy focusing on the things around me. And that was when it really hit me, like, God does this. God takes us through the wilderness before we get to the promised land. And I wanted to talk about it because I really just wanted to share my true feelings. I mean, I yelled and screamed when I was at home by myself. I questioned God. I questioned if it was God. I questioned if it was the enemy. I felt like I was losing faith. I felt like I was gonna fail. I felt like I wish that I would have just stayed where I was. You know how it is when you're in the wilderness and you look back and you're like, can I just turn around and go back to the place where, you know, I felt depressed and stressed, because that's better than feeling anxiety and pain and confusion. That's how I felt. And I would talk to my husband about it, like, I'm right in the middle of leaving something that was not good for my mental health and going to something better, but I cannot see it. I can't see the end of this, and I don't know where to go from here. I don't know what to do. I've prayed all I could pray. I've said all I could say. I've shouted. I've done a lot to really just, you know, express myself when I was alone, when the kids and everything was at school and my husband was at work. And it's the crazy part about it, we, you know, during this holiday season, we've had so much help around us, and my husband, you know, can take care of the bills on his own. And we've had just, you know, and the help that we've had around us was like, you know, family members for holiday gifts to us. So we were able to go out and do whatever with that money, or whatever we needed to do, the extra money. And oh God, I forgot to say, when I quit my job, my car started to act up, guys. My car was not cranking properly. It was locking up. And I was like, are you freaking serious? So we took my car to the shop, and this is, I mean, sharing this is a lot for me, because I feel like I'm such a private person in real life. But we took my car to the shop, and it was over $1,000 that we had to spend to get my car fixed so that I would be able to drive it. But that was the only thing wrong with my car. And guys, it wasn't something huge, but it was something that I had ignored for so long, because my car is a 2015, and let me see, I'm trying to do my math, y'all. So almost 70,000 miles ago on my car, I was supposed to get this maintenance done that I didn't get done. So the buildup of that, what happened was, it ended up being over $1,000 worth of service that needed to be done. So thank God we had somebody in our corner, you know, that a family member that was able to help us out, and we would have to, you know, pay later. But that's when the anger came, because I was like, if I still worked at my job, my husband makes X amount of dollars, which is more than enough, we would have what we need to fix my car without having to ask people. Because I'm one of those people, I don't like to ask people for stuff, y'all. I hate asking for people to help. I hate when people know what's going on in my life, if I'm struggling or whatever the case may be. But I can't really say this was like truly a struggle, because it truly was not. But it's just not what I expected. It's not what you would think would be the case when you feel like God is taking you somewhere, and then all of a sudden, here you go. Here you go, the nice gift of car issues and just all types of mess that I was not looking forward to. So basically, I wanted to record this video to talk about my experience with being in the wilderness and feeling like God told me to do something, and then being taken right into the wilderness and being angry, being sad, being confused, but then coming out understanding that God didn't bring me here just to leave me. So my faith is still with me. I'm still gonna have days where, you know, I might be confused as to where God is taking me or what is going on, but I know that where I was a terrible place mentally, emotionally, and physically for me. And where I am now is the wilderness, but somebody just parked next to me. But I do know that God is taking me to the promised land. and it's gonna be good. So I will talk to you guys later. And thank you guys for watching. Bye.